Demystifying Spirituality is a podcast where we uncover deep truths and provide a safe environment for authentic spiritual exploration. Have you felt like you are trapped in religion, spirituality, a lot of answers about God and your spiritual journey? Then make this your home. Hello and welcome to Demystifying Spirituality Podcast. This is where we uncover deep truths and create space for authentic spiritual exploration. I'm your host, Ndutawa Wero, and I am joined with my Prophet Saidimo. Karibu sana.
Thank you so much. So glad to be here today and to see that we are able to deal with handling religious issues with gloves.
Our episode number 2.
Yes.
Handling religious with gloves. I was just thinking about it, like instances when I need gloves and I could not help but wait and hear how do I need to have some gloves in matters religion. So welcome on board.
Thank you. I'll put it this way. Anytime medical precautions are given to any given person, one is for safety. Number 2 is for authenticity of how you handle things. Right?
Yeah.
I'll say this to my viewers every now and then, that you're a spiritual man, you're a spiritual being, living in a soul that is in a body, seeking to have an earthly experience. So the real you is spirit than it is physical.
Yeah, true.
And therefore, everything that comes with physicality, outfit, you have to glove yourself. 1, to avoid contamination. Okay, today you will allow me to be a bit biblical driven and therefore reading quite a number of scriptures. For example, in the book of Luke, chapter number 12, Jesus is giving a serious warning, and allow me to just do this for us. And he says this in Luke 12 and verse 1. He said, "By this time the crowd unwildly stepping on each other's toe, number into thousands, but Jesus' primary concern was his disciples." First of all, underline that Jesus' primary concern was his disciples. He said to them, "Watch yourself carefully so you do not get contaminated with the Pharisees' yeast and Pharisees' phonices." His greatest concern was his disciples. And he tells them, watch carefully, be very keen, be very careful on how you go about it, because they will contaminate you so easily. Now, he goes to say this. I said that today I do scriptures. Verse 2, he said, you can't keep your true self hidden forever. Before long, you will be exposed. You can't hide behind religious mask forever. Sooner or later, the mask will slip and your true face will be known. So in other words, he's telling the disciples, please, my guys, maintain the authenticity. Let your entry point be spiritual, not religious.
Okay.
As long as you're dealing with God, let your entry point be spiritual, and not religious. And today, allow me to really dive into details of religion.
And how sometimes it can contaminate.
And how it contaminates destiny.
Okay.
Because it is the easiest avenue the enemy uses to bring people to a compromised state.
Okay.
Let me show you.
Okay.
I said today I walk with scriptures.
Yeah, true.
So in John 12, verse 41, Jesus is talking to some very senior people who had converted, who had believed, like they had agreed to the concept of the gospel. And they had felt that this is the best decision we can make for ourselves. And again, allow me to read so that we are able to walk with our people to the right point. I say John 12.
John 12.
John 12, verse 41. This is what it says, and it's caught my interest because Jesus is talking very deep things. Okay, let me start 42. On the other hand, a considerable number from the rank of the leaders did believe. This is not ordinary people. The rank of leaders believed. And he says the following: but because of the Pharisees, they didn't come out in the open with it. They were afraid of getting kicked out of the meeting place.
My version says they did not confess it.
They did not confess it. They believed it.
Yeah.
They did not confess it. They did not finish the process of salvation. Because Romans 10 verse 9 and 8 actually, it says that how does one get saved? It says, is when you believe with your heart and you confess with your mouth, then you shall be saved. So when you do not finish the process, it means that there are certain spiritual benefit you deny yourself over what you believe. In other words, you're rendering your faith futile. You're immobilizing your own faith. And without faith, it is completely impossible to please God. So in other words, religious becomes the barrier to accessing the supernatural that comes naturally in the spirit realm. And all this is courtesy religion. Religious concepts barred them. They believed. They were like, we are with you 100%.
We're in agreement.
But we cannot come out openly just because. If we do it, religious people will get us out
of the synagogue.
And because of the fear of what religious can do to the men of rank. So in other words, leaders, one of their greatest trap is religion, not spirituality. So you may have very many leaders who are very religious and not spiritual.
Okay. All right.
And religious gives you space. You realize they are saying we have a place. We have a place as leaders. That we cannot dare confess what we believe, because by us confessing we go spiritual, and immediately religious people will deny us the place. So what is the place? The hearts of men that are contained and confined by religion, not spirituality. Because spirituality is individual, religious is group.
It's massive, it's a mass.
And therefore, because leaders want people, the Bible says we are the king, the glory of the king is in the multitude of the people. So religious forces confine people to make them his glory. And therefore, if I confess what I believe, I move from being religious to being spiritual. And when I walk in my spirituality, it is a very personal endeavor, not a group, not a mob psychology. And therefore, by so doing, I will be denied access to the crowds, and therefore I'll be a leader without glory.
Because I do not have a crowd.
That is what religious forces have mastered. They have mastered the art of controlling masses. And because they control masses, that's why kings, presidents, governors, rulers, name them, they would rather befriend themselves, align themselves, agglutinate themselves with a certain form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. Because as a matter of fact, when you believe, you begin to walk in the power, not just in the form.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So, we have to mask ourselves. We have to glove.
Put on some gloves.
Yes. Because this religion ain't evil in totality.
All right.
Religious helps us to have a certain historical lineage of how God has interacted with man over time.
Okay.
This is important because religious altars set up the custody, or they form a part of the custodians of divine testimonies. What are divine testimonies? Divine testimonies is what helps the believers to silence or overcome the dragon when the dragon comes to attack them.
Okay.
So the machination of the beasts against the saints overcome it by making sure that they are well connected with the true testimonies of what God has done. So religious forces helps us in archiving what God has done. This is important because if God did it yesterday and God is the same today, yesterday, today, and forever, it gives me a ground to believe that He can do it again.
Today.
So that's what I'm saying. Religious ain't in totality evil.
Okay. Okay.
It is a custodian of what has happened. It helps us build the spiritual history that we need to advance our faith. But when you're not gloved, when you do not protect yourself, the crowd will be huge, as it is written in the book of Luke 12 verse 1, that there were so many of them. They were actually stepping on each other's toe. Jesus' concern was not the multitude, was the disciples, because the disciples had believed.
Okay.
And He didn't want the yeast of the Pharisee to contaminate who they are. So religious forces contaminate your faith and weakens the fabric of the miraculous.
When you get contaminated.
So that's why you see leaders, whether politicians or otherwise, they will have to look for a way of expression within a certain confine of a religion.
Okay. So now we've got to be very careful on where to put on the gloves to protect the inner us who have already believed.
Yes. Because if they can affect your confession, they have denied you the power. Because the power is in the confession.
Wow.
Okay, let me break it down. When we believe with our hearts, it is sealed that we are part and parcel of divinity. We are part and parcel. We become the children of God. When we confess, we begin downloading, or rather manifesting, the spirituality in our physicality. And when the spirituality comes into contact with our physicality, is what we call the miraculous, is what we call the supernatural.
Oh, nice.
So when what God has said in the spirit meet with us in the physical, something that was not in existence is created, and that is supernatural.
Wow.
So when you believe and you're not confessing, you adopt into the form of godliness, but you deny the power expression.
Oh. In other words, you're limiting yourself.
Yes, you're limiting yourself, and therefore you are making many others to suffer. Let me explain. The scripture says that unconsciously the entire creation has been subjected to what we call bondage. And it is eagerly waiting for the manifestation of those who have believed, so that they became the sons of God. And because they have believed and they have become the sons of God, consequently, by default, they should begin to bring emancipation, freedom for the creation that is in bondage. Environmental conditions, the what we call global warming conflict, what we call animal-human conflict, what we call the ups and the downs that we have in the society. Most of the time, it is a creation of lack of liberation of the entire creation. So a few are taking advantage of the entire society, of the entire ecosystem. So the ecosystem is desiring its liberation. And the liberation is supposed to be brought by a son of God. Who is a son of God? The one who has believed and confessed. So when he believes and he does not confess, he does not adopt into the power aspect of what they believe in. And as long as they do not adopt to the power line of what they believe in, they are not offering solution to the creation that they were to offer solution for it. Okay, let me put it this way. I'm saying this in Utah. With religion, it denies, it breaks, it begs the question. That's the one. It begs the question, why are we saved and still on earth? Why didn't we get saved and just go? The question is this, that we are on earth, though saved, and even Jesus prayed that we be sustained on earth, so that we can bring the liberation of the creation that is in bondage. So when religion grasps one who believes, it kills, it curtails the power line, meaning it does not bring the change to the creation that they are looking for. And therefore, the environment is still getting deteriorated. There is afforestation. There is name it, the destruction of the ozone layer. There is all this filthiness because the sons of God who are to manifest God as God, so that there is healing of the creation. He does not do so because he's afraid the religious forces will deny them the space.
They are trapped somewhere.
Yes.
They ought to bring help, but they are trapped and confined.
They are confined by the religious walls. And that's where now handling it with gloves comes in. Because if I am Jesus, I will not bring salvation to the humanity if I do not go to the synagogue and begin reading them scriptures, because they are the custodian of the book that announces who Jesus is. So Jesus has to go there from childhood. But he has to glove himself.
Do it carefully.
Do it carefully. So that when the time to announce who he is, because he's not to announce himself, the scriptures are to announce him. You are not to announce you. God's word is to announce you.
Me.
That's why he say, in the volume of the book, lo, I have come. In the volume of the book, it is written about me. It is what God has already spoken, prophesied, released concerning you that gives you a revelation of manifestation. Now, that all prophecy is in the archive. Where is the archive? The archive is in the religious closet. So I have to go there to the archive and get my prophecy. But now, how do I go there and get my prophecy out without getting contaminated? That becomes the question.
You've got to tread carefully.
You got to tread carefully. There is what you take in, there is what you don't take in. Right? Okay. Let's look at it this way. In Matthew 23, around verse 13 and 14, he says how this religious folk comes into play, and they hinder those who are to come into the kingdom from coming into the kingdom. Imagine, religious forces have the capacity to block you from entering into the kingdom.
The standing
On the way. And the scripture says, actually, they don't come in, and neither do they let those who want to come in to come in.
Yeah.
That's why you need to tread with carefulness. Because if you only base your faith by your religion, that, when I come to talk to you about your spirituality, you say, I'm this, I'm this, and all your identity is certain denomination, is certain, because denominations are just factors of religion.
Okay.
And therefore, don't talk to me because, I come from this church, I come from this, my pastor is this, my bishop is this, so this denies you the encounter. Because, yes, okay, there is a thin line, lest you entertain false teachers.
Okay.
But again, false teachers, you will know them easily because they will point you again to another religion. But when I present to you Christianity, I'm not presenting to you a denomination, neither am I presenting to you anything by any means that is connected with what I would call a religion. I am connecting to a spiritual reality. That is why I can be a Christian in an island where there is no Bible, where there is no pastor, there is no church, and my faith in God remains intact and strong. Because God is everywhere.
He's omnipresent.
He's omnipresent.
He doesn't require something.
He doesn't need a book for him to be with me.
He's everywhere.
He's everywhere. Number two, he doesn't need any literature, whether Bible or guitar or whatever, to be with me. He works from within me, both to will and to do of his pleasure. So with the Bible or not with the Bible, I can be a believer of Jesus Christ.
Did you hear that? With the Bible or
without?
I still can be a believer of Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Wow.
Because religion wants to make you carry a book. That by this book,
I am a believer.
I am a believer.
It's not necessarily so.
This book enhances my belief system. It embellishes. It adds more nutrients. It brings more proteins. It helps me to know that the God I believe in, he has done it yesterday. He is doing it today. He will do it tomorrow.
Wow.
But I can believe him. Abraham never had an evangelist to preach to him. Hey, Abraham, the Bible says. Nobody was there to preach to him. Yet he had an encounter with God. He had such a faith with God. He had such a belief with God that the book is written about him.
Yeah. And reminds us to
have such
a faith.
Such a faith.
Yeah. The encounter. I love that.
So you need gloves. Because religion will give you things as licenses to the kingdom. And they are not needful. They are not even relevant. Number two, they are not even keys to that kingdom. Jesus said, you guys, you're doomed. He said, the hypocrites. You damned, you're condemned. You kill my prophets, but you come and whitewash their tombs. To say, oh, how sorry we are if we were in the days of our father. So you are agreeing that you belong to the lineage that killed my prophets.
Okay.
Religion. Religion always make you point on others like they are not perfect. Only you are perfect. Religion will squeeze the space, the room of the Holy Spirit to a confined definition of what they want to authenticate and what they don't want to authenticate.
What works for them?
Yes, that's the word. What works for them?
Yeah.
What works for them? What works for them?
They only take in what works for them?
Yes.
And what doesn't?
And what doesn't, they buy you out. Jesus is saying, I'm concerned with you.
The disciples.
The disciples.
Because you believed.
Glove yourself.
Yeah. Tread carefully.
Tread carefully.
Lest you be contaminated.
Can I show you?
Yes, please.
When they wanted to kill Jesus in Luke 23, verse 10 and 11 and 12. For before then, they couldn't see eye to eye with Herod the king. They had excommunicated him from the synagogue. Didn't I tell you they have a way of frustrating leaders? They had gotten him out.
Yeah.
Literally, him out. But now that they want to kill this so-called Jesus, the Bible says for the first time they shook hands after a long time and they became friends. So religion has a way of sanitizing what they had excommunicated for their own aggrandizement.
What they are benefiting.
Yes.
Yeah.
So today you are excommunicated, you are unholy, you belong to Satan, you are not of God because you did not pay the tithe.
Okay.
Then another dude comes through with the stolen money and comes and pay the tithe, and because he brought the money, he is holy, sanitized, purified, purged, and make the most holy thing that you can ever behold.
So very accepted.
When they want to kill, right, they have a way of corrupting governments. When they want to switch off the power of light, they have a way of marrying to the government. So certain a mongrel arrangement of friendship between government and religious clock. It is because they want to switch off the light.
To their benefit.
To their advantage, because they want to walk in the dark and get their kill. And the light is standing on their way.
Yeah. So they've got to switch it off.
They got to switch it off.
Have their way.
And Herod must shook hand with Pilate. And when they shook hands, they killed him. Glove yourself about religion, because they have a way of endearing you for their own selfish interest.
Okay.
And that's why, don't forget this, that religion in the holistic approach of it, it is the custodian of the testimony, the experiences, the encounter. I have said in one of the episodes, I said the following, that religious, actually, they are the archive, they are the custodians of the miraculous. They build monuments where God has been, not where God is, has been.
They built there and they want you to stay there.
Yes.
Just there, nowhere else.
Yes. So you have to go there to know what God did, to build your faith, to believe Him for what He can do now. Okay. Jerusalem temple will be built so that when the soldiers are in the battlefield, if they face towards Jerusalem, a place where it is archived of how God has ever fought battles for men, their faith can be nourished to believe that God can fight for us now in this battle.
At this instance.
At this instance.
Yeah.
That's the essence. So Daniel is in Babylon suffering and facing all the Babylonian quagmires, trying to demystify spirituality in Babylon, where their idols and kings are worshipped. He is introducing God in that space, and therefore he has to keep in touch with Jerusalem. Not because Jerusalem is anywhere God's center, no, but just to keep his mind, his memories alive, that the God I believe in, He has ever helped so many other people under the sun. He can help us out. He got the children of Israel from Pharaoh's bondage. He can get us out from Nebuchadnezzar's captivity. So he has to face that altar to refresh himself. It is an altar that carries what we call a religious dogma.
Okay.
Needed. But that does not denote that's where God is. It only helps you to keep your memories alive, because God is in Babylon as much as he is in Jerusalem.
He's still there.
But me, because of my physicality, I would need. Okay.
To stay
Okay, let me put it this way. This is my token of agreement between me and my love.
The ring.
The ring.
Okay.
But I can hide it.
Someone
that does not erase the fact that she is my love.
Yeah.
But I keep it on my finger.
Okay.
Every now and then when I am interacting with my money, reminds me that I have somebody I love that is connected to me and to everything my hands brings in. One of the places that my eyes see the most is my hands.
Okay.
Because I want food, my hands has to go for it. I have to look at it. Is it clean? I am being paid some money. Oh, my hands has to go for it. And receive it. So my eyes and my hands are in contact. That's why I put my token of memory that I am covenanted to a certain lady somewhere.
Yeah.
And that girl, I love her.
I know.
So just to put it, the altar of a religion keeps you contact. That there is a God who did 1, 2, 3, 4, and he did to those people. He can do to these people now.
Yeah.
So I have to glove myself, because the religion anytime can marry together with the government to switch off the light and kill the very Jesus I am believing and propagating. So the murder of light did not end with Jesus, has continued all along. And one way they want to do it, they will bring their priest.
Yeah.
The priest that will tell you, it's not that serious. They can do some few things out here.
Yeah, after all.
And sometimes even the priest will tell you, some of these things you will not find them in heaven. As if do them here because they will end here.
Yeah, in heaven.
But these are the very things that the conscience, not the religion, not the book, the Spirit of God in you, because you're a spirit man. Before you're a human being.
Yeah.
The spirit man is telling you, you are not for this. Listen to me. Listen to me. They are Nazarites. Nazarites are dudes, are people born. But they are things, not because how bad they are, but they don't do them because they are Nazarites. Okay, shaving like the way I've done mine, letter O makes me feel good. For a Nazarite, he won't. Not because the shaving of letter O is anything evil.
Okay.
It's only that he's consecrated from shaving until he finished his tenure of Nazarites. So there are things your spirit tells you, though everybody else is doing it, you shouldn't do it because you're patented for holy things. And I want to end it this way. Please know, they are sacred things. And sacred things are not religious things.
Sacred things are not
religious things. They are spiritual things.
Yeah. Wow. I wish we had more time. We would have looked at where are we contaminating ourselves as Christians in the name of religion, because there are instances where we've been contaminating ourselves daily, hiding under the veil of religion. But I know we will be able to discover that in our next episode. If there is an area of your life where you feel like you would need us to break it down and help unveil this religious mask, demystify the truth that you have always known, probably not your truth, please write to us down on the comment section, and we will be able to attend to you. I've been your host, Nduta Mavero, and this is Demystifying Spirituality.